In the world of anime, one character stands out for his extraordinary memory. Ayano Keiji, the protagonist from Classroom of the Elite. His feats in the White Room are nothing short of extraordinary, from memorizing the position of 45 cards to recalling events from when he was a newborn. While such feats seem unrealistic, they are based on real, scientifically proven methods that anyone can use to drastically improve their own memory. Through intentional practice and adopting certain cognitive techniques, you too can boost your memory to levels that seem almost superhuman. But before we dive into practical memory-enhancing techniques, it's important to understand what memory actually is. Memory is not a passive process of simply recording information. Rather, it is an active filtering system designed by your brain to select and retain the most relevant stimuli from the constant barrage of sensory input you experience each day. Understanding this filtering process can help you take control of your memory and optimize your ability to retain information. Understanding memory, the brain's filtering system. The human brain is constantly bombarded by stimuli, sounds, smells, sights, and other sensory inputs. Our nervous system converts these stimuli into electrical and chemical signals that our brain can interpret. However, we are only consciously aware of a small fraction of these signals. If we were to process and remember every single detail, our brains would be overwhelmed. This is where memory comes in. Memory acts as a filter, determining which sensory experiences are significant enough to store for later use. For instance, imagine walking down a busy street. You might remember the scent of food from a nearby restaurant or a specific conversation, but you likely won't recall every individual face or every passing car. Your brain focuses on what it deems most relevant, such as the things that could affect your behavior or help you understand your surroundings. Understanding that memory is essentially a way for the brain to prioritize relevant experiences makes it clear why some things are easier to remember than others. You've likely experienced times when, despite studying hard for an exam, you can't seem to retain the information. Why? So, how can we change this? The role of emotion in memory formation. One of the most effective ways to make the brain treat something as important is to tie it to an emotional experience. Emotions act like a highlighter for the brain. When we experience strong emotions, whether it's excitement, stress, or surprise, our brain releases chemicals such as adrenaline. These chemicals signal to the brain that the experience is significant and should be remembered. As a result, memories formed during or shortly after emotional spikes are typically stronger and more durable. This is why you can often remember important or emotional events from your life, such as a wedding, a graduation, or a traumatic experience, with incredible clarity. The emotional intensity during these events made your brain treat them as crucial and store them more effectively. Interestingly, this emotional connection can be leveraged to boost memory retention even in everyday situations. For example, research suggests that consuming caffeine immediately after studying can improve memory retention. Caffeine stimulates the release of adrenaline, which enhances the brain's ability to encode new information. Similarly, taking a cold shower or subjecting yourself to another form of controlled stress can trigger adrenaline and boost memory formation. If you're new to cold exposure, it's important to ease into it slowly to avoid a shock to your system. While adrenaline plays a significant role in strengthening memories, it's just one piece of the puzzle. Other techniques and lifestyle changes can further enhance your ability to remember. Improving visual memory, the power of mental snapshot. One simple yet effective technique for improving your memory, especially for visual information, is the use of mental snapshots. To do this, focus your full attention on an object, scene, or detail you want to remember. Then, close your eyes briefly as though you are capturing the image with an invisible camera. This practice helps your brain form a vivid mental image of the scene or object. Research shows that the act of taking a photograph with an actual camera can have a similar effect. When you take a photo, you concentrate on the details of the scene and frame the shot intentionally. This cognitive engagement enhances your brain's ability to remember the details, even if you never look at the photo again. The process of consciously focusing on an object and capturing it, mentally or with a camera, strengthens your memory and improves recall. Long-term memory, strengthening neural connections. When it comes to long-term memory improvement, it's essential to understand how the brain processes and stores information. Contrary to the idea that we can simply increase our brain's capacity for memory, the reality is that memorization primarily involves strengthening the connections, synapses, between neurons in the brain. This means that as you practice and learn new information, the neural pathways that store this information become more robust, making it easier for you to recall the data in the future. To strengthen these synaptic connections, repetition and rehearsal are key. Revisiting the information multiple times over a period helps solidify the neural connections associated with that memory. This is the basis for techniques like spaced repetition, which involves reviewing information at gradually increasing intervals to improve retention. However, there's a more powerful way to enhance your memory beyond just repeating information. Regular cardiovascular exercise has been shown to promote both synaptic strengthening and neurogenesis, the creation of new neurons. This is particularly important in the hippocampus, the part of the brain responsible for learning and memory. How exercise enhances memory. Aerobic exercise, such as walking, jogging, or cycling, increases blood flow to the brain, delivering more oxygen and nutrients that support brain function. It not only strengthens existing neural connections, but also helps create new neurons, enhancing your overall memory capacity. Studies suggest that engaging in at least 3 hours of low-intensity aerobic exercise per week can significantly improve memory and cognitive function. For maximum benefit, it's best to time your exercise sessions 1-3 hours before engaging in learning activities. The increased blood flow to the brain during exercise prepares it for more efficient encoding of new information, making it easier to learn and retain new material. The memory-destroying habit, information overload. While adopting the right techniques can enhance memory, modern technology has introduced a dangerous habit that is actively undermining our cognitive abilities: information overload. With constant access to information through the internet, social media, and news updates, our brains are continually flooded with data. This constant stream of notifications and updates makes it difficult for the brain to focus on any one thing and can hinder our ability to remember important details. To combat this, it's essential to limit exposure to distractions like social media and engage in activities that foster mindfulness and focus. Practices like meditation have been shown to improve memory and learning by increasing gray matter density in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex, areas critical for memory storage and cognitive function. Taking a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness, simply focusing on your breath and gently bringing your attention back whenever it drifts, can lead to substantial improvements in memory and overall brain health. Conclusion: taking control of your memory. Memory is not just a passive process, but an active system that filters and stores information based on what the brain deems important. By leveraging techniques such as emotional engagement, visual snapshots, cardiovascular exercise, and mindful meditation, you can dramatically enhance your memory capacity. Additionally, reducing distractions and embracing a more mindful, focused lifestyle will help you take full control of your cognitive abilities and improve both short-term and long-term memory. By incorporating these habits into your daily routine, you too can sharpen your memory and unlock your brain's potential, much like the anime character Ayano Keiji, whose mental prowess seems almost supernatural. The key is consistency and intentional practice. With time, you'll begin to see remarkable improvements in your ability to remember and recall information.